7 years ago, one small child watched as his New York football Giants fell to a gang of wild bandits known as the Baltimore Ravens in Super Bowl 35. Little did he know that a miracle play, a dramatic escape, and mind-blowing catch would make all his dreams come true only a few years later. On February 3, 2008, the New York Giants defeated the unbeaten New England Patriots in Super Bowl 42, pulling off the greatest upset of all time. It was the greatest day in today's guest's pathetic and sad life. The Humanities Communication Arts Department at Norwell Community College presents The New Directors, a show that introduces you to television's future writers, directors, and personalities. And now join our host, Angela Tedesco, to meet the new directors.
The teleprompter's not working. Thank you for joining us today's edition of The New Directors. All of the people involved with this program are students in the television production course and are directing, switching controls, audio, operating camera, and acting as talent for the first time today. The guests you are about to meet are students who, when not on camera, are behind the scenes, working hard to bring this program to you with as few mistakes as possible. Each student has written and produced 3 different videos. This program will give them the chance to talk about themselves, the productions they have completed, and give you the chance to get to know them and watch the process of the semester. The guest today is someone who has been a fan of the New York's finest football team, the Giants, since he was old enough to hold a football. He has suffered countless seasons of giant despair due to giant meltdowns, which caused giant tantrums to be thrown. All that changed in February when his favorite team won Super Bowl 42 and reclaimed their rightful place as champions of the football world. We would like you to meet today's guest, Grant Lawrence Taylor Williams. Hello.
Thank you for having me, Angela.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So, Grant, how good has this last year been for you?
Well, it's been terrific. You never think that your team will win the Super Bowl, and then when they do, you almost can't believe it. It took me a couple of weeks to finally realize that what had happened. And it was really just that incredible play that transpired in the fourth quarter of the game when Eli looked for sure that he was going to go down in a mess of Patriot linemen, but somehow escaped and chucked a wounded duck wobbler long down the field, caught by David Tyree with his freaking helmet, and it was just incredible. And you knew at that point that there was no way they were going to lose that game, that they would have to, pull out the big W against those Patriots. And it was definitely one of the greatest games I've ever seen, probably the greatest day of my life. There's the catch right there. It's friggin' unbelievable. And it was the first time that I had really seen the Giants win the Super Bowl, and not since Bill Parcells was the coach in the 80s and early 90s, and now they got Tom Coughlin, who has led them to the promised land. And a lot of people, when he first came, didn't really think he would bring New York a Super Bowl victory, and everyone was ready to run Eli out of town. They said he sucked and wasn't as good as his brother. Tiki Barber had abandoned my brave soldiers to be a... But it was really the week 3, that defensive stand against the Washington Redskins, that turned the season around, and from there they just took off, won 6 straight. Some players stepped in for the missing Tiki Barber, Derek Ward, Brendan Jacobs. Strahan wanted to retire, but he came back for one last season, won a Super Bowl ring, going to go to the Hall of Fame. But the big story of the year was Eli becoming a true star and winning a Super Bowl MVP, much like his older brother Peyton did a year earlier against the Chicago Bears. And this year has been a good follow-up. There have been some injuries. O.C. Umenyiora went down in the preseason against those Jets, New York's other team. David Tyree was put on injured reserve, so he's done for the year. And this idiot right here had to shoot himself in the leg. So, but I do believe that they can go back this year, and it'll be another great year for me in 2009.
You sound like a very good fan. So what are some of the most useful things you have learned in the TV course?
Well, I'm really interested in the video technology and making videos, so I really wanted to kind of get to know how to work and operate that equipment. And we learned to edit and work in post-production, use audio editing and mixing and sequencing and all that. And I really wanted to work on the TV productions like this one right here. That's been a very fun experience for me, and maybe I'll even have a career in TV broadcast after this is over.
Tell us about the coffee sequence, like your campus story and your fall foliage project.
Well,
Sorry.
in the learning project, we learned to use basic camera techniques, just standard long shot, medium shot, things like that. We learned to shoot the close-up, worked with human subjects, and we were just basically getting acquainted with the equipment and video techniques that we would use in later projects. For the New England fall, we basically just continued what we had gone over in the learning project, framing, working with the composition of shots, and there weren't any human subjects in it, but we focused more on just the natural world and life, organic life within that realm. We learned a lot of techniques like the rack focus. We learned how to frame our subjects, branch or tree stump or plant, whatever. Then we took our shots, we put them in the computer, edited them together, and put music that matched along with the mood of the piece. For the campus story, we continued what we had learned in the previous two projects, and we scripted and storyboarded and did a lot of pre-production work before we began, and we just basically refined the techniques that we had learned in those previous projects, like framing, focus, whatnot. And it was basically just a culmination of everything that we had gone over so far in the semester.
Now tell us about your best project.
My best project was probably the campus story. The campus story's final exam, which was about a student who is taking a final exam. He can't stay awake during it. He keeps falling asleep and nodding off, waking up, and each time the test seems to get a little bit harder. So what we did in that project is we combined the elements, again, from our earlier projects, and this one at least didn't turn out bad. Let's listen for a moment's time. As you can see, we have the framing of the student taking the test. This is an actor, Kevin Sell, very talented young man. We were very lucky to have him for this project. And it was a great thing that we learned how to work with the talent before going into this during the learning project, because let me tell you, that boy right there, he is full of talent. We were up to our necks in talent on this. And what we did was we just wanted to tell a human story with emotion, and we couldn't use any dialogue, so it all had to be told visually and with music. And it'd be great if we could listen to the music here, but unfortunately we are unable to.
Well, your story sounds great. So now what would you like to do next?
Next, I'd love to use what I've learned in the course to film some sporting events or experiences that I have. Probably sneak a camera into a game or something. There's also a lot of stupid little videos I've got, accumulated over time that I'd love to, put on the computer and edit now that I know how to. And maybe even upload them onto that newfangled website, youtube.com, so I can embarrass myself in front of the whole world.
That would be funny.
It would be.
Today we got to meet someone who shared with us the wonders of the Giant football. As the new TV director, he hopes to apply what he's learned at NCC to make great sports videos and to one day meet great Television 1 to make it into the next course, Television 2. We would like to thank Graham for joining us today.
Thank you, Angela.
We hope you enjoyed meeting one of our television's future directors, and we hope you will continue to join us each week to watch our progress. Thank you and good day. Go Giants.
G-Man. This has been The New Directors, with your host, Angela Tedesco, directed by Ayub Wampella. I'm your announcer, Eric Davis. This has been a Noah Community College student production.